Sayyidina Sahal bin Abdullah Tustari rahimahullah, great man of Allah, there came a time in his life when he isolated himself from people and he started to live in a desolate jungle away from people. Some people came to meet him and they asked, "Oh Sahal, you live in this desolate place, don't you get scared? Don't you get bored? There's no one there to talk to." So he said, "How can I get bored? When I want to talk to someone, I offer my prayer, and through the prayer, I talk to Allah Jalla wa Ala. And when I want someone else to talk to me, I open the Quran, Kitabullah, I recite the Quran, and through the Quran, I listen to the Kalam of Allah. How can I get bored and how can I get scared in this desolate place? You ask me how do I spend my days and nights in this place? I communicate with Allah Jalla wa Ala. If you don't get bored because you keep yourselves busy with the creation, then how can I get bored when I keep myself busy with the creator of that creation, Allah Jalla wa Ala? And the best time, once again, an important reminder for all of us to keep ourselves busy with the creator is the month of Ramadan. In the Quran, when Allah Jalla wa Ala mentions the month of Ramadan, Shahru Ramadan, the month of Ramadan, what's the first thing that comes to our mind when we talk about Ramadan? What do you think about? What's Ramadan connected with? Fasting. That's the first thing that we think about. Whenever Ramadan is mentioned, what comes to our mind? Saum, suhoor, iftar, fasting. But Allah doesn't mention fasting. When Allah mentions Ramadan, Allah doesn't mention fasting first. What does He mention? Shahru Ramadan alladhi unzila fihi al-Quran. Allah mentions Quran first. Ramadan, Quran. That's the relationship between the month of Ramadan and Kalamullah and the Quran. Then Allah says, unzila fihi al-Quran hudan lin-nas وَبَيِّنَاتٍ مِّنَ الْهُدَى وَالْفُرْقَانِ. Then after describing the Quran, after mentioning the Quran, then Allah Jalla wa Ala says, فَمَنْ شَهِدَ مِنْكُمُ الشَّهْرَ فَلْيَصُمْهُ. Fasting comes after, Quran comes first. This shows the importance of Quran in the blessed month of Ramadan. To talk to Allah Jalla wa Ala. The relationship of the fast in Quran is such that in the hadith of Musnad Ahmad, Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam mentions that on the day of judgment, the fast, the Saum and the Quran both will intercede for people. The fast, the Saum and the Quran both will intercede for people. The Saum will say, the fast will say, "Oh Allah, I prevented him from eating and from fulfilling his desires during the daytime. Ya Allah, I intercede for him, accept my intercession for him." And the Quran will then say, "Oh Allah, I prevented him from sleeping at night time. Accept my intercession for this person." And Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said that Allah will accept the intercession of the Quran and the Saum of Ramadan, and this person will be forgiven. Sayyidina Ali karramallahu wajhal kareem, he says that if Allah Jalla wa Ala, if he wanted to punish the ummah of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, he would never have blessed them with the month of Ramadan and Surah Ikhlas. Surah Ikhlas is Quran. And this is why I say that it is important that we memorize the Quran in the month of Ramadan. Spend some time for memorization of the Quran. But if you don't have time to memorize the Quran, then at least recite those verses that you have already memorized. Surah Ikhlas, you've watched my lectures, detailed talks on the virtues and excellences of Surah Ikhlas. Listen to those talks. And not only memorization of the Quran is important, also the understanding of the Quran, the fahm of the Quran is important. Some people compete with each other. I will read 2 Qurans in the month of Ramadan. Someone says, I will read more than that, I will read 3 Qurans. That's important. You have to recite. Qiraat of the Quran is important. Read as much as you can. Imam Azam Abu Hanifa rahimahullah used to recite 61 Qurans in the month of Ramadan. 30 during the day, 30 during the night, and 1 in Taraweeh throughout the Ramadan. 61 Qurans. But these people had the fahm of the Quran. They had the knowledge of the Quran. It's not just mere recitation. They understood the Quran. We need to strive and understand the Quran. Connect with the Quran. Listen to my lectures on taqwa in Ramadan. Inshallah tomorrow the book will be published as well. Taqwa in Ramadan. How to attain taqwa in that high emphasize the importance of understanding of the Quran, how to connect with Quran in the month of Ramadan. So we need to recite the Quran and learn to establish this relationship with Allah Jalla wa Ala, when we can experience this beauty of communicating with Allah. And this Taraweeh, what should we be thinking about during Taraweeh? Detailed lectures have been delivered on this subject. Taraweeh is a form of communication with Allah. The way Sayyidina Sahal bin Abdullah Tustari rahimahullah said that I stand and I talk to Allah through the prayer. Now, what should we be thinking about during Taraweeh? We envisage the spectacle of Yawmul Mahshar, the day of judgment. In Taraweeh, when we will be standing in the court of Allah Jalla wa Ala, waiting for the judgment to begin, the creation of Allah Jalla wa Ala will stand in front of Allah. This standing should remind us of that standing in the court of Allah Jalla wa Ala. When we stand in Taraweeh, what should we be thinking about? Standing on the day of judgment, when the sun is above our heads, the creation drowning in their own sweat, in that state shivering in the court of Allah Jalla wa Ala. Years have passed, Allah hasn't started the judgment. People are waiting for Allah to start His judgment. Oh Allah, we beg you, oh Allah, start the judgment. When will it start? That communication, and then people talking to Allah Jalla wa Ala in their hearts, oh Allah, forgive me. Oh Allah, remember those sins that I have committed. They're all in front of you. Ya Allah, protect me from this humiliation in front of the creation. That conversation should be taking place now in Taraweeh. What are the adab of Taraweeh? During Taraweeh, when we are standing up, what should we be thinking about? The standing in the court of Allah Jalla wa Ala and talk to Allah during Taraweeh. This is how we connect. Through Taraweeh, we talk to Allah. And through recitation of the Quran, we listen to the kalam of Allah Jalla wa Ala. May Allah Jalla wa Ala bless us with this state, so we can connect with the Quran in this blessed month of Ramadan.